Hi there, and welcome back to another episode at Station Road. Now, today's episode is once again just a little bit of a mixed bag. So we take one last final look at the Accurascale Deltic, and one of the things I didn't do from the previous review update on that locomotive was to actually test the locomotive on the layout with it hauling a load of coaches. So that is one aspect to today's video. The second two is also looking at a recent purchase of a camera to use as a cab view for running trains around the layout. And then lastly, just an update on the Christmas competition and how that is going, and a few more details and possibly even a hint or two about the answers. So firstly, we'll look at Accurascale's Class 55 Deltic, and as I mentioned, one of the things that I hadn't actually really sort of looked into yet was actually running the locomotive around the layout with a rake of coaches to see how it performed. So as from the previous video, and there's a link in the corner for that, the derailment issue was solved by way of taking away essentially one of the kinematic coupling systems at one end. And there was also some modification work that was carried out too, which did improve the coupling system a little bit. But in the end, I decided that let's just take out the leading coupling system, and that resulted in absolutely no issues or further derailments on the layout. So I thought the best way to really illustrate this locomotive, and of course the purpose being an express passenger locomotive, I really did feel that I had to put this locomotive through its paces on the layout, and with a reasonable length of coaches. So I had 7 coaches attached to the locomotive, and I really did push it around the layout with a fair amount of speed. So in order to record all this footage, and there is of course some passing footage, but also I thought it really needed capturing with some actual track view footage as well. So hence came in the recent purchase of a new cab camera, and this is a RunCam 5 orange. So there is a RunCam 5 black. The orange is an updated version. So these are, I think, more designed for drone cameras, but I thought maybe this might be an improvement on the previous camera I've been using for quite some time, which is a Polaroid Cube. Now, the Polaroid Cube has certainly been an effective camera, but I thought let's push the technology a little bit higher and use the new RunCam 5 orange. Now, one of the things that you'll notice already is that the RunCam 5 is actually slightly bigger than the Cube, so I could no longer attach it to a conflat wagon like I have with the Polaroid Cube. And of course the Polaroid Cube is actually magnetized, so it actually magnetizes to the metal weight that's actually in the wagon. So the RunCam 5 doesn't have a magnet, so it is a little bit more crudely attached to this Lomac wagon, which is attached with some rubber bands. Now, you have to use the Lomac wagon or any kind of wagon that has a well to it, so it creates the clearances needed on my layout. So width wise, it's actually pretty good. It's just slightly wider than the actual wagon, but in terms of its height, it was too high to sit on the conflat. So the Lomac wagon worked quite well, and of course one of the things I did do is replace the wheels with some metal wheels, which creates much smoother running. So I coupled up the low mat wagon behind one of my trusty Class 24s and set about recording some of the footage for this Class 55 Deltic. Now, I think one of the things I've got to say, and whether this is just simply because it's a Class 55, which was a quite impressive locomotive of its time, or whether Accurascale has somehow miraculously been able to capture the running performance and just the sheer thrill of this hurtling around the track, because it really does have that sense about it. It's just absolutely fantastic, and it is probably up there with probably one of my best running locomotives, but also it just captures the essence of this particular locomotive just so well. So I think without further ado, let's just head over to the footage and see for yourself. So there we have it. There is the footage from this Class 55, and the fascinating thing is I actually had the Class 24 absolutely maxed out on speed, and the Class 55 was still had more room to go in terms of speed, but I thought if I pushed this right up to its maximum speed, it would have actually been quite frightening, and the last thing I'd want to do is have this locomotive hurling off the layout on a corner. But I'd have to say the actual running characteristics and the sense of its power and its stature and command of the railway is just fabulous. It really does capture the essence of the Class 55. So I guess one of the things I need to say is in the footage you've just seen, and also the locomotives I've mentioned, is quite a significant hint to two of the answers in the Christmas competition, which I launched last week, and there's a link up in the top corner for that. So the entries are coming in, and they're all mostly correct, if not 99% correct. So keep those entries coming in, and at this stage there is probably quite a high chance that you might win one of the 3 prizes on offer. So I thought one thing that I would like to mention, and I didn't mention it in the competition video, the prizes, which of course are the TMC vouchers. I just want to clarify, of course, that I have purchased these vouchers myself. TMC are in no way subsidizing them, and in no way am I affiliated with TMC in this situation. I've simply nominated TMC as the provider for the prizes because I strongly believe that TMC are a fantastic modelling shop, and they do have some excellent products and also services within the modelling industry. So apart from the upcoming video to announce the winners for the competition, which will be in just over a week's time, I will be aiming to put out one last video before Christmas, and of course that will be returning to the upper level goods yard, the street area that I've been working on, and also areas around the curved warehouse. So expect something at least before Christmas, and there may well be a further video before the new year. So there we have it, the Class 55 in all its presence and commanding the station road layout. So I'll leave it there for now. Do submit your entries into the competition. You've got probably a reasonably good chance of winning a prize. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Do take care, look after yourselves, and I will catch you next time. Bye for now.